In this video, I'm going to illustrate the operation of the PIM Web Viewer software combined with the I-Tech I-nkfiller system. First of all, the I-nkfiller system is composed by an I-WASP batch, which are containers for coloring products, a series of pipes that connect the I-WASP to the digital machines, and all the electromechanical devices such as PLCs, pumps and valves that allow to transfer the product from the I-WASP to the digital machines. Combined with the I-nkfiller system, we have two softwares. The first one is for acquiring the transfer data from the PLC, and it must be installed on a PC which has an Ethernet connection with a PLC. And the second one, the PIM Web Viewer software, which instead works as a visualizer. The latter is based on a web technology, and it can be visualized from all PCs that are connected to the PCs in which it's settled. For what concerns the I-WASP, we have three possible transfer movements. The first one is to refill the I-WASP. When the container runs out of coloring product, it can be recharged with an external EBC. The second one allows to carry out a manual removal. In fact, all the I-WASP are equipped with a tap that allows the pinning of the product. And finally, the transfer to the digital machine. The PIM Web Viewer software allows, in fact, to see those transfer and to observe what happened over the time. Then in the user menu, we will see three options: the refill of the I-WASP, the manual withdrawal, and the transfer to a digital machine. Let's look, for example, the transfer to a digital machine. In the screen that appears, we will have the initial date and the final date to filter the movements of interest. Once the dates have been set, in the grid below we will see the list of all the movements, or better, all the product transfer that took place in this time frame. In the grid, it is then possible to apply an additional filter based on certain conditions, such as the number of the I-WASP, the target printing machine, the product contained within the I-WASP, the initial date of the transfer, and the transfer quantity in kilograms. If we want to use one of these additional filters, we'll just type in the empty cells. Let's take the number of the I-WASP, for example 5, and in this way the movements are refiltered, taking into account only those movements that involve the I-WASP number 5. In the same way, we will be able to filter only those movements through the printing machine number 1, for example, and we can notice how in this case there are several I-WASP that made the transfer to the printing machine number 1. In the lower part of the grid, we can see the count, or the number of transfer occurred, always taking into consideration the filter that we have applied. Then we have the sum, or the total product transferred, always basing on the filters. We can decide to eliminate those filters through the Clean button, and then we can export the result of the grid into Excel. Also on Excel, the grid export will take into consideration the filters that we have applied. So this is therefore a very simple and intuitive way to view the product transfer to the I-nkfiller system, and a good advice could be to add some graphics to better show the consumption of the product in an even more intuitive way.